Anderson ticket talking about.
Hello, welcome to PODnas. This is a sports show with the Southern Flair. I'm Daniel Hawks. That's Jared Roser. And today we are going to do our PODnas Pick 7. LSU's off, so we don't have to commiserate about that. We're going to go over the plays of the week as well. Jared, how you doing today?
Good, man. It sounds like I'm getting over the illness, and you sound like you're getting sick again or something.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
it's happening again. So we got like a week straight of like 70, 80 degrees in Chicago, and then it just tanked into like 40s. And anytime it does that, my body's like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
So
I think part of our issue was essentially the Louisiana flip side of that, where we got down into like maybe the 50s a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, and now we're back up into the mid 80s. So a lighter flip side version of that.
yeah. Well, we're on a crunch time today, so let's get into it. We're gonna go over our games, our PODnas Pick 7 for week 10. Let's just get straight into it because there is a banger at 11 a.m. We're recording this on Friday. Tomorrow morning, number 4 Ohio State at number 3 Penn State. It's going to be 11 a.m. on Fox. Who you got?
I'm going Ohio State. They've owned that series for a while. They've won the last 7, 11 of the last 12. I think this is a good Penn State team that is playing at home this year and has a chance at it for sure. And some of those games have been close along the way, certainly. But I know Drew Aller's been banged up, and that changes things. I think he's going to play. We'll see how close to 100% he is. But the Buckeyes, I still just think are one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the country and have a little bit of edge over Penn State in terms of total roster. And so I'll take them to go out there to Happy Valley and win on the road.
I want to catch up to you, so I'm picking Penn State.
Are you going to have me pick first all of these and just zag on everything?
No, I'm not trying to go completely in the tank. Even last week when I zagged, I got it wrong. So but I don't have much. I think it's going to be a really close game. I'm just going to give Penn State a little bit of the edge here. So next up, we got ULM at Marshall. It's going to be 2:30 ESPN Plus. I'll go first this time.
Okay.
I think that ULM defense is too good. I don't think they have 2 stinkers in a row. So I'm going to pick the Warhawks beating the Herd.
This is a big game for that ULM team to show some bounce back and show that they are who they appeared to be.
We thought they were.
I tried to avoid that. They were on such a great run until last week, going out there to South Alabama and having trouble. And their dogs on the road, I think it's 7.5 points or something like that on the road that the Herd are favored by. But I'm going to give ULM the benefit of the doubt again to kind of shake back and live up to what they had started to have us all buying in on there for a few weeks. I'll take ULM on the road.
All right. We're booking through this stuff today. I love it. Next up, we've got Southeastern at Lamar, 3 p.m. ESPN Plus. How you feeling on this one? I think I'm going to lean Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar got the win last year. Southeastern had won, I think, the 5 straight meetings before that. And, man, it's tough to go on I feel like the home teams have a nice edge in this conference. I haven't looked at numbers on any of that. But Lamar against a Southeastern team that wasn't as good as in years past last year had to really escape a 1-score game out in Hammond. And I think a better Lions team this year kind of goes out there and returns the favor, beats Lamar in a game that is pivotal for the teams in the Southland Conference, chasing your team, Incarnate Word, up there atop the conference standings. I'm gonna be a little bit of a homer and go the Lions on the road to get a win for Louisiana, because Lord knows after last week we needed it.
Yes. Oh man. Oh, can we just not talk about last week? Let's just not talk about it. Like I said, I'm going to go with Lamar though. I'm going to be the, I can pick first and we can still zag. Okay. I think I had an intentional zag. There we go. Next up, we have Stephen F. Austin is going to be at Nicholls State. That is a 3 p.m. game. ESPN Plus if you're trying to watch it. Nicholls took care of McNeese last week. Stephen F. Austin comes in. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher of a test. But I went against Nichols last week, and I shan't do it again. So
two more teams right there in the Southland standings trying to keep up with Incarnate Word, who I'm just going to keep finding ways to mention as often as possible for you. I know you're sad to not see them on the list this week, but I agree. I think Nichols at
I'm
home.
very happy. I'm sad that it's been brought up twice already.
I think Nichols State at home takes care of business.
Very nice, very nice. Next up, 10 Texas A&M at South Carolina, 6:30 ABC. It's going to have Kirk Herbstreit on the call, which I don't know what your thoughts are on Kirk. I like him as an announcer, but that's just who's announcing.
I
This
I like Herbstreit. I think
I do too. Yeah.
he like many prominent commentators catches hell from fans at large who are vocal on Twitter, and I think unfairly so, just because people like to complain about. And look, we're on a tight time schedule in terms of editing after this, so I was careful to not curse jar there. People like to complain about whatever the heck they want to complain about. Anything.
I've tried to not curse. There's been twice that I've stopped myself because I know the editing after the show is going to be a little,
Yeah, but Herbstreit's good, man. He really is.
Yeah. With this game, do we know who Texas A&M is rolling out for quarterback? Is it going to be?
I do not. I meant to look that up before we started because that is a huge difference maker for that team, as we saw last week.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but yeah, you look it up. I'll keep talking.
Yeah. You keep talking. I don't know if you can tell. I'm not. I'm definitely. I'm still engaged. I'm still active. I'm still listening.
This game is, regardless of who's at quarterback on either side, and I mean we know it's Sellers now for South Carolina after he came back from that earlier season injury, but the two defensive fronts in this game are two of the best, if not the two best in the SEC, and so whichever quarterback is in there for the Aggies, I think is going to have closer to the time that Wegman had last week against LSU than what Reed had against LSU late, because these defensive lines are going to get after the opposing quarterbacks. And I think a lot is going to stem from which offensive line can try to slow down those opposing rushes a little bit better, which quarterback can make an extra play under duress or avoid making a really costly play under duress. And so I think this is a game that has a chance to be a little bit of a slugfest and kind of an ugly game, and that whoever makes one or two fewer untimely mistakes kind of survives it. I think could be interesting. Did you have an answer on that?
I do. The answer is they're undecided. They have not said, so they're preparing for both, which, I would say is smart by Texas A&M to make them prepare for both. I'm going to go South Carolina. I'm going to go South Carolina here. That being said, if Marcel Reed starts, I will immediately regret my decision. So.
Yeah. I'm going to lean South Carolina also. I'm not going to be shocked. This game, I really do. I mean, Texas A&M could go out there and really prove itself by winning more handily than we're giving them credit for. But I think this is just an ugly game on Saturday night that fans outside the SEC that are just tuned into ABC for football purposes are probably wondering what the heck are they watching at points of this game. And I'm going to go ahead with South Carolina stealing one at home because I continue to think South Carolina is a little bit better than they get credit for, and that A&M LSU kind of made look a little bit better Saturday night than A&M necessarily is. So we'll see.
And I think South Carolina has had a couple of these really close games, and I think they're this close to pulling one out. And I think I'm hedging my bet that this is the week that they do it, especially at home. You got to hear that damn rooster crow so many times. I would go crazy if I had to play. I went crazy when I was just a fan in that environment. Much less having to sit there and hit people or be hit for 60 minutes. So
for sure. And you go in there with just the trauma, the lifelong fear of farm birds. So it's not an ideal place for you to be.
Yeah, we'll get more into that at a later date. That's a post football season episode. We can go to my trauma of farm birds and animals. All right. Next up, we've got Pittsburgh at SMU. Pittsburgh's 18. SMU is 20. 7 p.m. ACC Network. Pittsburgh, like, very quietly undefeated. I had to double take at my notes right there just to see that I
Yeah,
was
man.
reading that right. That being said, I'm going to pony up. I think SMU is going to take this, and I'm just giving the edge to the home team here. I do not know a lot about both these teams, so I'm not going to give or even try to give some fake analysis here. But just going gut SMU. That's what it do.
Yeah, I mean, the Stangs are favored at home. I think this game could really go either way. A big piece of Pittsburgh this season is their quarterback by former Zachary High quarterback Eli Holstein, who's had himself a hell of a year. He was knocked out late last week, as was SMU's quarterback, and so both of those teams have had some quarterback issues this week of just will guys be available and how effective will they be, and that's going to be a big piece of the storyline leading up to kickoff on Saturday. I'm going to go with the Panthers to go down to Texas and come away with a big old win in that conference race. I look at SMU having to battle their way through an emotional game last week against Duke and the potential for a letdown a week later against a really good Pitt team. Again, could go either way. I'm going Panthers. Also, shout out to you for picking SMU, a school in the state of Texas, the same state as Incarnate Word. I just wanted to bring that up again briefly to give you that nod there.
You're an evil human. Do you know that?
I meant to do it. I meant to do it when we were talking about Texas A&M and South Carolina, but I missed that opportunity and then saw SMU and my eyes lit up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say some incarnate words to you if you keep mentioning it. Okay. Last game of the week, we've got the reeling New Orleans Saints at the Panthers, who are maybe like a JV team playing in the NFL.
I was going to ask, if the Saints are reeling, what are the Panthers right now?
Yeah. This is not high intensity football, folks. 12 p.m. game's going to be on CBS, or if you're out of market like I will be, it will be on Sunday Ticket. I will begrudgingly watch this game. Derek Carr may be coming back though. So that being said, just like in the beginning of the year, I'm going to pick the Panthers.
The reeling Saints versus the real bad Panthers. I'm going Saints again. I mean, what did I predict them before the season to win like 9 games? If they're going to get to, close to half of that, they've got to beat the Panthers twice.
They do. And listen, I've got a real shot to catch up this week. And not at least put a dent, because it is what are we at? I am 41 and 25, and you are 50 and 16. So
okay.
Wow. Yeah.
So this could be the week I stretch it to a 10-game lead.
Is what
I heard that as.
Yeah, same. That's what I heard it as too. All right. Let's quickly, before we move on to the play of the week, let's mention University of Louisiana. Cajuns played last night. So did Tulane. I was able to watch that Tulane Charlotte game. Tulane just dominated. And the uniforms were it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think even people outside of Louisiana, a lot of folks give the nod to Tulane as the best unis in college football, or certainly among them.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cajuns go out Tuesday to Texas State and come away with a big win, keep on rolling. They're undefeated in the Sun Belt Conference. Tulane 34-3 against Charlotte on Thursday night on Halloween. And we're clicking on all cylinders on the road on a short week. Go ahead.
Oh, I finished what you're saying. I have a question as soon as you're done.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been really impressive to watch both of those teams, regardless of back-to-back road games or on the road or 11 a.m. kicks or Halloween night or whatever, continue to cruise right along. The only losses on Tulane's record at this point are the 2 Power 4 teams, the Kansas State game at home, and then the Oklahoma trip. And then for the Cajuns, they lost that game to Tulane. That was a back-and-forth game all the way through, and that's the only blemish on the Cajuns record. And so great for those guys, both teams to really be holding up Louisiana football all season long so far.
And my question was, what do you think? Is it whether it's Tulane or the Cajuns? Do you think we see any playoff chances coming with either of these teams?
I think right now, for that G5 or G6 or whatever the hell spot that you're looking at for the playoffs, everybody's kind of chasing Boise State and their Heisman candidate Ashton Genty. But if the Broncos slip up, you're looking at two of the teams that are most likely to catch them. I was looking at some of the odds earlier, and the Broncos are, again, the odds-on favorite. BetMGM had them at minus 175 betting-wise, and then right there, plus 800, three teams, Memphis, Tulane, and Army, and then Louisiana and Navy at plus 1,300. And so Tulane hosts Memphis on Thanksgiving, a game that I'll be down there in New Orleans to cover. And that's a game that, again, if Boise State slips up, that could be a game that becomes a kind of a play into the playoff type situation.
Yeah.
We'll see how it all goes. Boise State still has some tough games left. Tulane and the Cajuns, either one to have a chance to stay alive would both have to win out, but I think they've positioned themselves and improved themselves to where they're at a point where you kind of believe that they'll do so. But we'll see, man. It's getting exciting as we turn the page to November for sure.
Absolutely. Football is ripping and raring. We are getting almost to playoff time. I'm very excited. We will also be coming to you with our, we did this draft at the beginning of the year, and we'll give you a little updates, I think, coming up soon. Maybe if not next week, the week after, as we're rolling into conference championship week and getting all that, and that playoff picture becomes a little bit more clear. So we'll give you some updates on that. The way that this show has gone, just, in the 40 some episodes that we've done, I'm probably going to lose. So
I haven't looked at our teams really in several weeks. It's just been too much else going on, but I know I felt real good coming out of the draft. So hopefully that's held up during a chaotic college football season.
Yep. Absolutely. I feel good about Oregon right now, so that makes me happy. Ducky. Oh, man.
You have been pointing so well at the beginning of episodes. I've been,
I know
of your streak there.
That's because I've been telling myself, like, don't mess it up, don't mess it up, don't mess it up, don't mess it up, don't mess it up. As we start, I was in free flowing conversation. So that's what happens. I want to go right hand. Yeah. All right. Lastly, we are going to announce the high school plays of the week. We had 4 amazing plays on Monday. Episode came out on Tuesday. We recorded on Monday. But we have a winner because that's what we do this for.
Hey, it was a barn burner of a vote too.
It was.
At the end, coming out on top with the late vote, Carson Sellers to Tanner Townsend of Alexandria, the same way that they came out with the late play against Ruston to come up with the win. Their touchdown connection in the final minutes there at home to remain undefeated. They are the Louisiana versus all y'all PODnas, whatever, play of the week for week 8 of the Louisiana high school season. A great one by.
That's the official name of this too. Louisiana versus all y'all PODnas, whatever, play of the week.
Carson Sellers is become a favorite on the channel this week. He had the interview after that game. Both those guys and several Trojans did over the weekend. They had interviews. Carson got a little nod in the recruiting show talking with Sam this week. He wins the play of the week. And so he's just been all over the Louisiana versus all y'all channel. And we're recording this on Friday, so I don't know if he'll be watching this in class in Mr. McCormick's class after lunch. Like, apparently he spends too much time watching this channel in that class. Most days he might see this one on the weekend, but either way, shout out to Carson, shout out to Tanner, shout out to the Trojans remaining undefeated.
Carson, I'm not your parental figure. You do whatever you want, man. We love them views. We love them views, son. Let's go.
I'll be back on the Alexandria campus next week for their Week 10 game against Neville. I'll see Mr. McCormick. I'll probably see Carson's parents. So can't wait to hear if they've watched this and if they have any feedback for you.
That's great. Good thing about feedback for me is unless they want to travel a couple thousand miles, then I don't care. Listen, we would love to see any plays from this weekend that you think could be the play of the week. So if you do see something, say something. Reach out to us on any of our socials. You can go to Louisiana versus all y'all Twitter. It's LA versus all y'all. You can go that on Instagram as well. Also PODnas_LA on Instagram, and check out the YouTube channel. Jarrett is doing so much cool stuff with Louisiana recruiting, Louisiana sports in general. The Louisiana versus all y'all page is your one-stop shop for anything you need for Louisiana sports. I think that's all we got for today. Jarrett, you got anything else before we get out of here?
No, man. Hope everyone had a happy Halloween and is off to a great start to November.
Yeah. Shouts out to the dude I saw that was just putting potatoes in with candy and telling kids that they could pick two things. And every kid was picking the potatoes. So shout out to the potato kids of wherever this guy was from. So
shout out to the potato kids of wherever this guy was
shout
from.
out to the Spudniks, to the little Spuds.
It was better the first one.
It was. All right, that's all we got for today. Please like, comment, share this video. We want to hear from you what we did well, what we didn't, and we'll see you all next time. PODnas out.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a